1986, Canada lost all three of their World Cup matches. 0 points. They qualified for the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. They were really impressive in qualifiers. And I expected something special from the Canadian team 4 years ago in Qatar. 0 points. I wasn't able to actually put out a prediction video for this match because I was quite, caught up today. But I have it written down here that Canada would have lost this game against a very spirited Bosnian team who defied all odds to qualify for this World Cup. Only their second appearance since they debuted back in 2014. I had no confidence in Canada, Even though they're one of the hosts, they're home in Toronto, they still have pretty much the same crop of players from 4 years ago. So there's still some quality in the Canadian team. And, it might be one of their best teams ever assembled. But I still had Bosnia scraping through to a 2-1 win. But Canada proved me wrong, man. Canada proved me wrong. Without their star man, Alphonso Davies, they pulled off their best ever, and I mean their best ever World Cup result. Round of applause to Canada. If I wasn't holding my phone in my other hand, I would have given Canada a round of applause. Round of applause to Canada. Well-deserved point, the first draw of the 2026 World Cup. It's only 3 games in, but the first draw. Who would walk away the happier, the two head coaches? Would it be Barbarez, the Bosnian head coach, or would it be Jesse Marsh, the American crossing over the border to manage Canada? I think it would be Bosnia. Because after going ahead, let me just grab my notes really quick. In the 21st minute, it was somewhat against the run of play because Jonathan David had a really good chance. Canada started the game brightly. Jonathan David had a great chance to put Canada 1-0 up and fluffed his lines with his weaker foot. And with the set-piece opportunity, Bosnia went ahead. Really good ball in, flicked on at the near post by Kolasinac and put in by Jovo Lukić. First ever international goal. He deputizing up top for the legendary Edin Dzeko, who's not 100% fit. 1-0 to Bosnia. I was like, okay, crowd shell-shocked. How are Canada going to respond? I got to give Canada a lot of credit because they responded well. They were stitching together some really good attacks. Against the run of play, they went behind, but they didn't hold their heads down. They just kept fighting. They kept fighting. There was another big chance for Uluwasei on his weaker foot as well, and he blasted it. So Canada could look back at this game and say, what if we took our chances? What if we really put away all our opportunities? It could have been a win. It could have been the first ever World Cup win. But I think after going behind, they really played some positive football. They kept, attacking Bosnia, who somewhat went in their shell. It's like they set up more defensively after going ahead, which is understandable. You had a big tournament. You're not known for being very expansive going forward. And, you play to your strengths, basically. So if you have the advantage, defend. Defend for your life. Keep the lead. And that's what Bosnia were actually doing. Katic was really good in this game. The goalkeeper, solid as well. Defensively, they looked pretty solid. So I think it was a really spirited fight back by Canada without the end product in the first half. And Bosnia, as I just said, more pragmatic after taking the lead. Halftime 1-0 to Bosnia. Canada had to do something in the second half. And Richie Larin, who was one of the better players on the day, playing at left back, and he was really advanced in the match. Some may say too advanced, kind of stifling Liam Miller over there on the left. I don't think Tajan Buchanan was utilized enough. You know, the right side play wasn't as strong as the left side, the play down the left flank, in my opinion. But that chance by Larin, what a save off the line onto the crossbar by Sead Kolasinac, who you might say was one of the better players on the day for Bosnia and Herzegovina. With his experience, you know, with his physicality, and, you know, with his know-how. Pretty solid under the defensively as a left-back player, you know. So Bosnia created a chance. They broke away, and the goalkeeper Kripo came out and foiled it. So that was one of the few chances that Bosnia had, one of their bigger chances to actually take a 2-0 lead. And, you know, the game had a period where both head coaches made some substitutions in attempt to inject life into the playing 11. And it was Canada who looked more spirited. You know, they never looked like running out of steam, because guess what? They had the crowd behind them, cheering. You know, even though it's one of the, I think it's, they say it's the smallest stadium utilized at the World Cup, they still had that Toronto crowd, you know, backing them, cheering them, you know, just giving them a boost of energy when needed. And as for Bosnia, they continued to wilt throughout the duration of the match. So Canada always looked like they were about to get back in the game, and it was Cyle Larin who came off the bench, set up, spun, got his shot off, and it ricocheted off the defender into the back of the net. Maybe it would have gone into the back of the net if it didn't hit the defender, but I think it was a well-deserved goal for the Canadian national team. I want to actually pull up the stats in this match. Canada did have another big chance. I think the last minute of the game with Larin with a close range shot blocked. Defender celebrating, because that was a crucial moment in the game as Bosnia, you know, they hung on for dear life. They hung on to that point, and a point in this group, which is a fairly open group with Switzerland and Qatar being the other two teams. They play tomorrow. I am going to do a live stream a bit later. Once my wife gets home, I'll go outside and get a live stream in so we could discuss tomorrow's matches and the game later between the USA and Paraguay. I was actually supposed to do that today, but I didn't get around to it because I was busy working. So I didn't actually get the time to, you know, talk about this match, Canada versus Bosnia and Herzegovina. But I think Canada, they'll be content, but not, well, let me say, how should I put this? Should they be happy but not content with the 1 point? Or should they be content and happy not to lose? You know, because they've played 7 World Cup matches and lost 6 matches. You see what I mean? 6 in a row. First World Cup point. That's a positive. They would then back themselves to beat Qatar. I think their next game is against Qatar next Thursday, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, the 18th. They would back themselves to beat Qatar or even pick up a point and put themselves, you know, in a decent position going into the last game against Switzerland, who are, I think, the strongest team in this group. But this is a tournament. Anything could happen. The team that shows up on the day, walk away with the spoils, you know, walk away with the 3 points. Bosnia, they have showed us today that they're going to be a difficult team to crack, you know. And if they manage to defeat Qatar when they do meet Qatar after they play Switzerland, let's say they grind out a draw against Switzerland, it'll be a really good match against Qatar. You know what I'm saying? Because let's say Qatar even pick up a point against Canada or pick up a point against Switzerland. This group, let me not even go into permutations right now. This group, I think, is wide open for the taking. I am going for Canada to come in third in the group, but go through as one of the best third place teams. I picked Switzerland to top. I picked Bosnia to come in second, Qatar to place last. But guys, anything could happen, because if you look at that Qatar outfit, these players are close-knit. They have a lot of experience, and they've been playing, a lot of these players have been playing together for a very long time at the club level and also at the national team level. And once again, it is a tournament. It is tournament football. Anything can happen. But guys, let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know how you've been enjoying the World Cup so far. For me, personally, it's very difficult because I have a lot of responsibilities. I'm older now. Not like in 2018. 2018, I was like 31 years old. Oh, all day, all throughout the video, you guys will be like, yo, Dom, you got something on your bed. But 2018, I was a lot younger, less responsibilities. 2022, same. But now, things are not the same, man. So it's a bit more difficult. I have to find time to do this now. You know what I'm saying? So bear with me throughout the World Cup. But I'm gonna watch as many games as possible. If I didn't watch the game, I'm going to try to watch a replay, and we're going to discuss these matches. We're going to react. We're going to give our thoughts. We're going to, enjoy the tournament from now all the way to the end. So more matches coming later. We have the USA Paraguay, and tomorrow we have a whole lot of games. So it's like every day, we're going to have World Cup fever at the end of it. So, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below. Oh, I actually what am I doing? I actually wanted to pull up the stats to just let you guys know the stats real quick. 13 shots for Canada, 3 on target, 1 in the back of the net. For Bosnia, 8 shots, 4 on target, 1 in the back of the net. Canada had 60% of the ball, 390 passes with a 78% pass accuracy. 10 fouls in the match for Canada. For Bosnia, 20 fouls. It was quite a physical game, and I think the referee handled the players very well. But guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. There was a lot of corners in the match as well. It was actually 13 corners in the game. 5 yellow cards, no reds, not like yesterday's opening match, no reds. But I think the referee handled the game very well. But guys, thanks a lot. Subscribe if you're new, like the video if you haven't yet done so. Let me know your thoughts down below. And until next time, peace out. Rich Squad. Guys, see you in the next video.